it's Shanda. It's Coffee with Shanda at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time in California, where I'm looking at the ocean right now, which is super awesome. So every morning, Monday through Friday, I do 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. And honestly, it was a stretch to start this. And right now, I'm streaming on Instagram as well. So hi, you guys. How are you? So I do this typically on my Facebook page, but I thought that I would rope in Instagram a little bit today. So 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda. What are you drinking this morning? I am drinking a raspberry tea with macadamia nut milk inside. So good morning, Sloan. Good morning, Amelia, Crystal, Julia. Hi, girls. How you doing? Good morning, you guys on Instagram. How are you doing? Lots of hearts and love. Nancy, Georgia. Hi, you guys. How you doing? Okay, I want to talk about something super important today, and it might surprise you. First and foremost, I'm going to talk about the topic of how I tipped my business into 7 figures. And let me tell you, I did not believe that it was possible. And it was a shift in who I was being in the process that tipped me into 7 figures, not a specific business strategy. In fact, I've been doing the same business strategy in my business for so many years, it's insane. So not much has changed, meaning that it's been building an email list, it's been reaching out to that email list and selling virtually, living wherever I wanted to live. That's not me being promoter. I'm telling you the truth. I have literally built a business living in Las Vegas, in California, spending a couple months in Barbados, and it hasn't all been peaches and cream. It's also been really challenging, but mostly challenging because of my mindset along the way. Once you learn the strategy of building an email list, and once you learn how to sell to that email list, then it's how do you do more of that, right? So I want to talk to you about how I tipped 7 figures. Before I do that, I'm going to ask you to tag another entrepreneur that you think should hear this message. So the reason why I'm doing this is because it's time that we join together. It's time that we start operating and giving more in our businesses, not just to get. If you haven't noticed on 6 a.m. Coffee with Shanda, I'm not sitting here making you offers. I'm not, there was one Facebook Live that I gave some resources, and I was straight up. I was on that link, there's going to be an offer, right? So, but it's time that we actually start working together. And there's so much information out there to be able to grow a business, but what do you focus on and when? And I want to help you do that. And in order for me to help you do that, I want to help as many people as possible. So help me be inspired, tag another entrepreneur, and let's rock this out. Okay, so is this helpful? Are you guys up for a good morning? Hit some hearts, some love. Let me know what's going on. Woohoo! Hey, Wendy. Hey, Judy. Hi, you guys. Is anybody new to Facebook Live or Instagram Live that you don't know me yet? I'd love to just for you to say hi in the comments section so I can see who you are. That would be really awesome. Okay, let's rock it. Okay, so how I tipped from really, I wasn't struggling when I tipped to 7 figures, but I was struggling with passion. I say this often, like, I actually was just saying this to my friend Bedros Kaluni. I was saying, at one point in your life, you wished for the life that you have. You wished for the relationship you have. You wished for the baby that you had. You wished for the business that you have. And what I'm talking about, like, the moment of, like, you're still bitching and complaining. Right? You're still bitching and complaining about something inside your life or your business, but yet there's so many things that you've manifested that you want. Well, that's where I was in my business. I think I was doing somewhere around $20,000 a month when I actually $20,000 or $30,000 a month when I actually scaled within a few months to 7 figures. And honestly, it was a crazy moment for me because what I kept doing is this motion. I kept going, I need to hook into something bigger. I remember I'd be talking to Suzanne Evans and, other people. I was coaching with Suzanne Evans and lots of my friends. And I was saying, before I even coached with Suzanne, I was going like this. I was like, I need to hook into something bigger. Like, I just don't feel passionate anymore. And there are moments where I literally just wanted to close my business. I wanted to go live on a beach somewhere like Barbados because I loved Barbados. Every time I went to Barbados, I had this calmness about me that felt amazing. And But I also had this drive, and this drive to make a difference, this drive to be a millionaire, this drive to fly first class. And I think spiritually I tried to shut that down a little bit. I read A Course in Miracles, I studied that for a long time, and that's a great text. However, I'm now very much into the Bible. And there's like this conflict that I had around making money, being spiritual, and just this guilt of like even making millions. And I share this with you because that guilt is like this like, we call it like maybe we don't believe we deserve it or we have low self-worth. And I believe all of that. I mean, I believe all of that. But the truth is how do you get to the other side of that? You know what I mean? Like, I was tired of talking about how to raise my self-worth. I was tired of, reading and meditating and really not getting ahead. And so I just kept going, gosh, I need to hook into a bigger reason to get up in the morning. Like, I know, like, what's my why? What's my why? And I would make up these whys, and they were important. But at the end of the day, what I realized is that my relationship, I was bored. In fact, I was with a man who was talking to other women on the side. So that was less than perfect. I was living in a shitty condo. I was still making decent money, but I was living in a shitty condo that I was fine in. I was comfortable. I was fine. I was really fine. It was affordable. It was nice. But really, it wasn't my oceanfront place that I live in now, right? Or the one that I'm building right now. My business, I was making $20,000 or $30,000 a month, but I was so effing entitled, you wouldn't believe it. Like, I wasn't happy. I mean, there was a day that I prayed for having a business that I was making $20,000 or $30,000 a month. I mean, I remember when I started, I just wanted to make $5,000 a month. So when I hit $20,000 or $30,000 a month, I was still bored. And bored wasn't the word that I would put on it. I was actually saying to myself, I don't feel inspired. Like, who doesn't feel inspired when they're making $20,000 or $30,000 a month? Somebody who's entitled. And I unshamedly talk about this because I think that many people battle with this situation. And many people give up, retract, and they leave their businesses or they start again. They're like, you know what, I'm just going to create an automated business, or and none of that's true. It's not just an automated business, right? I'm building an automated business right now inside my company. I spent $100,000 in a month trying to build that automated business. Okay, like, it doesn't just work like that, right? Like, and so I had these dreams and aspirations of the grass is greener on the other side. If I could just do this, but what I was smart enough to do is realize that I did need a bigger why. But my bigger why wasn't something I was going to find outside myself, and I couldn't meditate myself into it because everything I made up was bullshit. I couldn't get myself to really fire up and work. Have you ever felt that way before? Like, you're like, why can't I get myself to work? Or I work for a little bit, I feel inspired, but then I lose that momentum. You guys, building a business and building a relationship and building your fitness plan, it has nothing to do with how you feel. Nothing to do with how you feel. Commitment has nothing to do with how you feel. Could you imagine getting into a marriage and saying, I don't feel it anymore, I'm out? Why do you think you could do that with your business, with real people's lives that are depending on you to show up and show up even when you don't feel like it, right? Now, I'm not saying that you push through, I'm not saying you ignore the feelings, is what I'm saying. Like, I'm saying you have to commit no matter what, right? If you want to be someone who grows a business of freedom, then you have to commit past the day and the weeks and sometimes a year of not feeling passionate about what you're doing. It's a very unselfish game. But the beauty is when you get to the other side of it, when you learn how to walk through these tests that I believe God gives you, and you walk through feeling unpassionate and you do it anyway, and then you find this breakthrough. And this breakthrough is emotional freedom. And the emotional freedom is where you feel the happiness, the joy, the inspiration, the will to work no matter what, because you're called forward. I wrote a whole book called Core Calling, which is about the calling that calls you forward. And what most people think is that their feelings are indicating the direction that they should go. No, no, no. Your feelings tell you what to buy into 110%. That's why when you learn how to sell, you have to learn how to evoke feelings in people of aspiration and vision. And when you don't have that yourself, because you can't get out of your own way consistently, then what happens is that you have a hard time leading an army of people who stay with you, renew with you, and stay with you long term and build that freedom. You also have a hard time doing that with a staff or a team because that's all directly correlated to who you're being. So how I got through it is I actually went to Africa and I volunteered. And I could never have guessed, and I'm not saying that this is your solution, I could never have guessed that that moment, like I went for a selfish reason. And the selfish reason was really just to get out of my own way and to give back because I knew that generosity was connected with breakthrough. I knew that generosity was connected with abundance. I didn't go thinking I was going to create a 7-figure company. But when I was there, I realized how entitled I was. I realized how small I still thought. I realized that when we actually worked with these African women, that sometimes they didn't eat for 3 days at a time, but they were still grateful. They still showed up with the best attitude I could ever. I don't know how many days I've shown up with an attitude as good as their attitude. They would show up dressed to the nines and they have nothing, and you'd see like, you know, maybe cigarette burns or rips in their clothes, but you'd have to look really carefully because they really made themselves look amazing. I remember showing up in jeans and a t-shirt and some old, like, ragged down runners and feeling embarrassed in front of these African women when I was there to support them and give to them. And I share this with you because something changed inside my mind, and what I'm trying to say to you is if you want to create a business of freedom, if you have the ambition of creating a 7-figure business, it's not necessarily always about working harder. It's not. It's about changing the way that you think. And I've said this a million times, but yet I still see amazingly powerful, awesome people give up on their businesses. I have a friend right now who makes multiple 7 figures, and literally all she wants to do is get away from her clients. Her game, she's doing the same retirement plan I'm doing, and her game, it's a 5-year retirement plan, and her game is to be done in 5 years so she never has to talk to another coaching client again. Now, you would never know that, and I'll never tell you who that person is. And I'm constantly trying to say to her, girl, you gotta do some emotional work inside. You gotta do some personal development work because it's not about your business. And when your business is gone, you're still gonna make it about something else, right? And so what would it be like if you could change your mind? What would it be like if you could really let go of this entitlement of feeling like the world owes you something? Like as if you have a right to feel disappointed when somebody hires you and it's only one person. Or as if you have a right to say, you know what, I'm not going to show up today because I don't feel like it. I mean, can you guys hear that? Can you hear that? Can you hear the difference in that? There's a really big difference when you change your attitude. It means that marriages are safe. It means that women are safe with men. It means that men are safe with women. It means that your clients can renew with you and know that you're going to be a stable company that will grow long term. If you want to break 7 figures, here's what you got to do. You got to build an email list. You got to keep building it to 20, 30,000 people. You need to learn how to sell to that, make offers. Ignore the fact that people say that people's emails are inundated. Who the fuck cares? They buy all the time. I bought clothes yesterday off email marketing. Okay? But get good at landing. Get good at landing your offers so that they make a difference for people. And if you just do those 2 things really well and you change your attitude of entitlement, meaning that disconnect, and somebody's going to give me shit for this and it's okay, but disconnect from how you feel based on what you're committed to. Now, I'm not saying that if you're having a hard time in life that you don't address that, but it cannot stop you. I've seen people stop showing up for work because their dog has passed away. I love my dog. She has been with me for 19 years, okay? I love my dog. And my dog right now hates my 2-year-old. And she is now living with my nanny, who now had to put her with another family with a couple other dogs to take care of her. She's 19. She should not have to be facing this in her life right now. But she is, and that does not affect for 1 second how I show up for you. Does that not mean that I don't have moments of sadness? Absolutely. Absolutely. But you guys, in this world, we have to stop the entitlement game. Our kids are getting depressed at young ages because we are entitled parents. We show up with this conversation of, I don't feel like it, so I'm not going to do it. And I'm just saying, enough. Enough. Enough of this shit. You know, if you want to create financial freedom and you want to be emotionally de-triggered, meaning that you want to be someone who can roll with the flow and be happy. Happy even if your partner isn't giving to you the way you want them to give to you. Happy even if your sales cycle didn't work out just right. Can you be happy no matter what's going on because you evoke that from inside? Yes, you can. And it's connected with entitlement. So I wanted to share that with you guys because I came back from Africa and I wrote $100,000 a month and I put it on the wall next to my bed and I looked at it every day, and I don't even think that I ever really believed that it was really possible, because I don't know if I really believed that I could be a millionaire. I mean, I think some part of me believed it, but I didn't know how. I didn't know what. I didn't know if I was really strong enough to do that. But I looked at that every day and it said $100,000 a month. And then I wrote the words, because I'm smart, because I follow a plan, because I'm a good person, because I'm generous, because I have overcome many things in my life, because I moved to Las Vegas from Canada. And I just wrote all these becauses, and every day I looked at that, and it strengthened my subconscious mind, it strengthened my conscious mind, and what happened is in 3 months, I ended up hitting 7 figures. I ended up hitting not 7 figures, but $100,000 a month. And what's really freaking cool about that is it took another 3 months for me to even know that I hit $100,000 a month. Because it never was about the money for me. It was about, could I personally create an impact like that in the world? And I'm happy to say that I'm multiple 7 figures a year now. We're scaling our company into 8 figures. My next goal is $1 million a month. That's my next goal, and that's what I'm working on right now. And I just want to ask you, what's yours? What's yours? What do you want to make a month? You know, and what's stopping you? You know, what do you think is the thing that's stopping you? I thought it was hooking into a bigger reason, but really it goes deeper than that. But what's the reason you think is stopping you? And let myself and my coaches jump onto the thread today and support you, right? What if today was the breakthrough? What if we could tell you to go do something today and that your whole entire business scope and emotional and business scope could change? That could be what's possible. But you have to start by sharing with me, what do you want? And let's just put it in the context of monetary value a month. Whether you're driven financially or not, money touches pretty much everything in our life. It touches our medical. It touches whether we fly first class. It touches whether or not you take a month off of vacation. I'm going to Barbados here coming up with a bunch of friends, and then I'm going back in a couple months. And I'm also dealing with the stresses of hiring new people inside our company. We're hiring a sales team right now. We're hiring, managers. We're hiring additional coaches for marketing mastery that are very successful people. There's a lot of things that are moving parts. You know, I'm recutting a web class today. I just hired a new person on this morning, already at 5 o'clock this morning. My point is that, yeah, there's a lot going on, but what do you want next? And what's stopping you from getting that? And let us see that, and maybe I can help you. Alora, awesome. You want to make $100,000 a month, $100,000 a year, $8,000 a month. Great. I just hired somebody for that price this morning. 6 figures, $8,000 a month. It's possible. Holly, 20,000, but you're going to up level it. Awesome. Great, Holly. When I was in Africa, I said $50,000 a month. And then the people around me were saying, 100,000 and 200,000. I was like, wow, the power of a community around you. This is why being in a mastermind, even if you feel like a mastermind isn't serving you, I'm telling you, it does, because it's infiltrating your mind and showing you what's possible. So that's how I went from 50,000 to 100,000. Thank God I did, because look at what I created, right? 50,000 a month, what's stopping me? I can't find people who want my services. Karen, talk to us. I mean, we could show you how to build an email list inside of 90 days. Send me a private message, right? In 90 days, we can show you how to build a buyer's list. You could be done with that conversation. Easy. There's nothing that can't be solved, right? There's absolutely $1 million a year. Awesome on Instagram, Fit Squad 9. Totally. You just need buyers, right? You need clients. You need to learn how to leverage, right? So that's totally possible, right? Who else? Who else? For starters, $8,000 a month. I'm waiting for Pace in July. Sophia, welcome to Pace Club in July. That's awesome. Thank you for these coffee talks. In just a few minutes a day, this is improving my mindset and helping me so much. You're welcome, Susanna. You're absolutely welcome. Okay, so great. So, I'll end on that note. I am going to go work out now. And I'll come back after working out and I'll look at the thread. And I'll take a look and see if myself or Jean Bills can help coach you on any of this stuff on the thread. We'll do it live on this thread, so come back to the threads so that you can see what our coaching is. And that will help support you on Instagram. I'll jump on. Awesome PT 300 Bass, 10,000 a month, great. Stacy Walker, $20,000 a month, great. That's awesome. So I'll coach 15,000 a month, great, you guys. DJ, provide services to the point where they want to pay me $100,000 a month. Fantastic, fantastic. Look, dreaming big is just an element of that, dreaming big. And there's a strategy, and the strategy is going to come to, in business, it's going to be lead gen, has to be the #1 thing that you need to take care of before a website. Secondly, it needs to be fulfillment, delivering on your promise. And the third thing is reoccurring orders. If you don't have reoccurring orders, then you've got a job, not a business that will compound and grow. So those are the 3 things you need: lead gen, fulfillment, and reoccurring orders. And they're really not that hard. So any dream you want, the only thing that's going to make that happen other than those 3 things is the way that you think. And if you are emotionally triggered throughout the day, or you are ungrateful or not feeling passionate, I'm telling you, that is a source of how you're thinking. And your actions will inspire out of the lack of inspiration. And then you're going to make some bad decisions in your life. And you will cut yourself off from what you've already built up until this point, and you will find yourself starting again. And that's what I want you to avoid this week. I want to help you avoid restarting a new thing and thinking that's going to be the thing that's going to make you happy. The grass is not greener on the other side. The grass is greener by you changing internally. Okay, so I hope this was helpful, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Facebook Live, Instagram Live at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. And I will jump on the thread after my strength workout. All right, you guys, God bless. I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Mwah. Mwah.